Hello, sexy soul, and thank you again for joining me for another pick a card reading. Some of you already know that I had spontaneously decided to take a little trip to Lithuania. My highlight is on Instagram. I have some pictures as well if you would like to take a little nosy over there. But yeah, moving on from that, I just want to do a little bit of a update on certain things here that I'm doing. And the first thing that I want to start off with talking about is I've decided that I want to do themed readings depending on the energy that we're going through and stuff like that. So this will happen on occasion. I might let them run for a couple of weeks, but the discounted reading that I want to do, and I might keep it up on the channel or up on my website, depending on how well it does. But for this week anyway, I decided that I want to do a reading on which option you should go with. I thought that was one that is going to help some of you out. So yeah, if you would like to purchase that reading, the link to it will be down in the description box below. Now, also within the master link, there will be all of the other things that I have going on, and you will see that I have created a community. It's going to be the first link, I think, there, where all of my viewers can just hang out, create posts, and interact with everyone. It's been working really well so far with the people that have joined, and I'm so grateful for everyone that has joined. And I wanted to do little shout outs to posts that I really liked. So this week I want to give a shout out to Lena, who decided to pick up the paintbrush and share her artwork with us. I really loved this art piece because it reminded me of Lithuania, the beach and the forest and everything. And we actually had a little party on the beach late at night. So these were the kind of colors that really popped and spoke to me, and the little guys peeking out there in the background really was quite cool. So I really love this, and yeah, come along over if you want to join free, and you can get interacting with people on there as well. And it's really easy to set up. You just have to click the link, you just put in your email, and then you just put up a profile picture and a few things about you. And I have questions so that it's easy for you to like set up a profile. It gives you like a little bit of inspiration on how to create your bio and everything. So it literally takes like, I would say 10 minutes, depending on how much you want to type in and everything. And then the last thing, I now have officially set up a paid group where you will have access to all of the private channels or threads actually within that group, and there will be documents and things like this that you can like view, and we can update together as a community. And the name of the community is called The Stars. Basically the main like highlight of it is this the stars. We will hang out and pull tarot cards for one another on a weekly basis. We'll do what I'm calling, this is a word or a thing I've made up, it's intuitive improv, where we pull tarot intuitively, obviously, but with the improv element, because I did acting, and it's like in that you bounce off one another, you keep going with the theme of, you know, the acting that you're doing, but in this way it's you keep bouncing off each other with the ideas. So I will start it off, obviously, and read for someone, pull a name out of a hat, and then we all get to, like, you know, whenever we are pulling cards simultaneously, I can say that word, together, we can then, you know, jump in when we feel like we want to. So if you really wanted a little community to join, I think this is a perfect one because it's small for now anyway, and this group will be the largest in like terms of how many members are allowed to join. I will have a limit. I just need to manage and see how many I can deal with. The future groups that I have decided to, they're in the works, I will create for less people, and it'll be more exclusive, more bonuses, but yeah, obviously it'll be a little bit more pricey than the stars. Now, without any further ado, we'll get to choosing your piles for today's reading. So in today's reading, we will be taking a look at your most powerful gifts. More specifically, we will be kind of talking about the different types of clairs. I also have I have already pre-pulled, so we'll see what happens, but I will kind of set my intention to talk about the clairs as well. And clair is basically just a word that is used to describe the different types of psychic sensitivity, and these terms sort of correspond with your physical and your intuitive senses. So yeah, maybe you'll learn a little thing here about yourself that you maybe never knew before as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to do this reading. Choose from one of the 4 piles, and the timestamps and everything will be down in the description box below as well. That description box is so motherfucking handy because you can just pop everything in there. But yeah, let's begin with the reading. Okay, hello anyone that has chosen group number 1. So let us have a quick look at the oracle cards that you have. So the first card we have is the Strength card. Okay, we have the Strength card, the color blue. We have Clairaudience. Okay, so this is probably the one that I'm going to read. The Clairaudience. We have Power of Empathy. So you're also an empath. Power of Empathy. So you probably feel like you're someone that wants to give back. But you maybe actually be someone who's a little bit afraid of saying something that you feel because you don't want to offend. So there might be that tricky situation where you're hearing, because Clairaudience, sorry, I need to always remember to do these upside down, because, yeah. Is that actually working like that? Wait, I never did that before. Did I do something to my... I hope that's like working. Is it? I don't know. We'll just roll with it. I will know after I edit this, because to me it's back to front, but yeah. So we with Clairaudience, you can sometimes hear things from people's bodies. Like you could hear that their heart's beating in a certain way. It could be things like that. It could, because I'm just paying attention to the heart. So you could maybe someone who picks up on things like that. But Clairaudience can come in like unlimited ways. You can be someone who just hears a song and knows that that song is a spirit talking to you. You might even be someone who actually hears certain voices, and obviously, and you know, there's people that will say different things like you shouldn't say that because like that's mental illness, blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, but you also have blending with spirit. Okay, so obviously I didn't even look at that. Blending with spirit. So yeah, this could be a group that is sometimes connecting with people who have passed on and things like that. So that's the first thing that we're getting here. So I want to read Clairaudience, and it says, have you ever heard your name being called when no one is actually there? That's happened to me so many times. Does a particular song or piece of music play in your head unexpectedly? Do you sometimes hear what others are thinking? That's telepathy, telepathically. I can never say that either. These could be indicators you have the motherfucker. The ability of clairaudience. Yes, I'm a little bit bad at reading, as you all know. It's the inner sense of hearing, the ability to hear names, dates, certain sayings, and yes, even songs and melodies. You may be receiving information on a psychic or mediumistic level. Some people hear objectively, which is outside themselves. Others hear subjectively, in their mind. I would be more of the one that I would hear more in my inner self, and I feel like this group as well. It's a little bit of both, obviously, there with blending with spirit, but most of the time it's coming from within your own heart space. That's what I'm getting here. With you, group number 1, because as well we have the strength card here as well, so I do feel like you have good boundaries, but you may be learning how to, you know, step outside of your comfort zone a little bit and connect with energies outside of yourself as well. So that could be something, but you know, you're always there with the armor up, okay? Because he's got his armor there, and the color blue is to do with the throat as well, and the throat chakra. You have a lot of that here today. So speaking your truth when it comes to things like this is how you step into your power. Whenever you feel like you are picking up something, or you're hearing something that is coming from someone in their mind, don't be afraid to just say like, have you been thinking about this recently? I'm just curious. And that's the best way to do these things. You don't have to be like, I am reading your mind. You don't need to like do all that shit. You just need to like spark a conversation, okay? That is the energy of Gemini, even that that conversation of just being curious about like, is this actually coming from me or is it coming from them? Because a lot of the times empaths keep everything thinking that it's their own problems when really they might just be picking up on other people's stuff. So that's the first thing that I wanted to say there. Here's just a little thing as well. On a mediumship level, when a medium is working with the ability of clairaudience, it can be very specific and quite remarkable to witness. The medium's inner hearing is so acute and receptive that they may verbalize everything they're being told by the spirit communicator. Sometimes that would be, I would call that kind of like channeling. So you guys as well, obviously, with blending with spirit, you can have that connection. People have their own views on channeling and things like that. They think, you know, it depends on how you look at things, perspective on everything, okay? But channeling for me is like, I do have the boundary of like, I'm still in my body and everything and it's still me, but it's just like a flow. It's like this sort of connection that you will learn to build. And you're one of the people that are very good with boundaries as well. You're mostly, I get a feeling here that you want to be in your body. You don't really want to let go too much. So that's what I'm getting from that as well. Okay. And it says, next time you're outside, try this simple exercise. Relax, close your eyes, and try to really listen to the sounds that are far off in the distance, be it the traffic, children playing, birds singing, or just people talking. Use the power of thought to stretch your listening and then focus your awareness on the sounds closest to you. Listen to all the sounds at once. This special exercise is meant to develop and strengthen the medium's inner sense of hearing. Something that I'm also getting for you guys is that you may even like visualize a room or something and want to hear a conversation. So you could actually do that. Visualize a room and see what you're hearing, what conversations you're picking up on. Obviously don't do it for drama reasons, you know. If you think people are bitching about you, don't just start doing that, because it's just not, don't do that. I know it's tempting, but like use your gifts wisely, okay? So yeah, now we're going to pull some cards. Okay, I want to ask like how you can sort of use your gifts to create security for yourself. You know, if you want to actually make a career out of this, because there's nothing wrong with that. Literally, there's nothing wrong with using your gifts. You have the World card. So what I'm getting from this already is that this is, you know, whether you like it or not, this is going to move in cycles throughout your life for the rest of your life. They're just going to keep growing. And I know you want to hear that anyway. But yeah, I do feel with the World card here that now I'm realizing they're upside down. I do realize or feel with the World card here is that you're just slowly moving through the chakras, because the color of her dress is like the rainbow. You're currently moving through the different chakras, okay? You may actually, some of you be up, because I'm choking up a little bit. You may actually be up to the throat chakra, or you're ready now to start speaking and saying what you have been picking up on and using your gifts properly. In a way that is authentic to who you are, and you know, not trying to, you know, like I said, I feel like there might be with some of you in this group like trying to prove yourself to other people. Don't do that, because when you start doing that, you're going to seek validation for that, and you're not going to trust yourself. Okay, the main thing with gifts is trusting in yourself that you are good enough. Okay, so with the World card here, it's sort of giving me the feeling that you need to travel more. You need to have more experiences of traveling around the world so that you can go through these cycles of what your higher self wants for you, okay? Because this is going to make you stronger with the Strength card and blending with Spirit. Because the more people that you meet along the way, the more you will develop, I'm hearing, okay? So that's the first thing. So if you have been feeling like a little stagnant with your gifts, this is one thing that you can do. Now let's see, a challenge with this. Okay, Eight of Swords. You're stuck in your own motherfucking head. You need to, okay, Eight of Swords. You need to awaken that this is the reality of who you are as a person. You are supposed to express your mind and your voice as much as you possibly can, okay? Because it feels like to me that you've recently, or you've had an experience where you did say something and it kind of backfired, or something wasn't received well. One of an example that I can give is there was a time recently, very recently, I did mediumship on a bus for a lady that was sitting beside me. We had kind of bonded over things, and then I got choked up, and I spoke to her and says, do you know anyone, she might even be watching this. She was like, do you know anyone, I said to her, do you know anyone that had a throat issue? And she was freaked out. And there was a thing with the bracelet as well where I mentioned that, but it wasn't being received at the start. But I know now, when my higher self keeps pushing me to, you know, keep nudging to keep speaking about it, eventually it'll come together. So it's not that it's, you know, if you get a little bit of that, you know, that's not correct, or nah, it doesn't feel right or something, just try and let that go. That's going to be the challenge for anyone that is clairaudient, or any of the clairs really, okay, because it can be hard sometimes to feel like, is this my ego saying this or whatever, okay? So yeah, that's the first thing. So don't get stuck in your head, just let it flow, let it be free. And whoa, hearing a big confirmation there, let yourself be free. So that might be why the World card is here as well. I think you've been boxed up a little bit too long now, where your mind is just like making you feel like you're a little bit cray, okay? That word even just is triggering something in me, it feels, not actually, but with yourself. I feel like even just like people thinking you're a little bit, yeah, confirmations again, my ears ringing. So that's clairaudience as well. If you hear like woo or anything like that, that's like, yes, bitch. That's the universe being like, I'm hearing Elvis. I don't know why I'm hearing Elvis. Maybe put on some music. That's another thing that you can pick up on is here, when you hear songs and stuff, you need to start changing your language and trusting in yourself, being like, I'm hearing this song, does that mean anything to you? Like, you know, any of the words or anything, like you can play around with it like that. So that's another thing that I'm getting from that. Okay, so how can you communicate to make your gifts stronger? How can you communicate with your higher self? Even that's all I want to say. What do they want you to do? Death. So we have the Death card. She is wearing a big black cape here. Very strangely, I'm actually hearing the song You Can Stand, Rihanna. You can stand under my umbrella. So, is there any umbrellas here? No? Okay. Don't know why I'm hearing that. With the Death card, I think that, oh, whoa. Yeah, you may have experiences where you're actually at like a funeral or something and it raining. Just seeing the image of like a funeral, and you know, all the black umbrellas and stuff, and it's raining. You may have like a lot of those experiences where you're sort of in situations that you're kind of feeling a little bit different to everybody else. Everybody might be mourning in a different way to you, and you might be like, why am I not overly sad? And it's probably because spirit, or the one that has passed on, is there with you to anchor your energy into the situation, so that you can help people understand death and things like that. Okay, so that's something that I'm getting. So there's a lot of mediumship here going on as well. However, I don't feel that that is something that you should focus on too much. I think right now it's about learning how to speak your truth and trusting in what the words that you say are relevant to people's lives and stuff like that. Because again, yeah, that's what I'm getting with the Death card. So in the future, I don't want to get you freaking out that like people around you are, this is like future, like, okay, this is where this card is. We have the power of empathy here as well. So it's not that it's just that, and you're going to have continuous like funerals and stuff. It's not that. It's more so about like in difficult situations where people are feeling a little lost or lonely, you're probably going to find yourself being their person that comforts them, okay? And it doesn't mean that you have to speak through spirit or anything like that. It just means that you're going to hear things like, oh, that person needs help, so I'm going to go over and like see what's up and things like that. So that is how you're going to strengthen, like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, okay, is the way to go forward, and sort of asking, okay, spirit, I want you to help me grow as a person, so clarify things for me whenever you know, whenever you want me to sort of speak up and things like this. So whatever way you want that to come through, let it come through. One of the things that I like to notice is if something strange happens to someone beside me and then I hear something, I kind of reflect it on other people. I need to see something happening with them first to know exactly that this is time for me to speak up. That's one of the things. But yeah, just you could ask for clarity, like show me butterflies or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. So lastly, we will take a look at how this will develop, like in the next year. Where will you see yourself in the next year? Okay. Oh, whoa, we have the Wheel of Fortune. My God, and I love this Wheel of Fortune because we have the Divine Feminine there in the corner as well. Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter energy, so abundance, and it did come up right. I was taking reversals if I felt them. Oh, something else here. Oh, the reversal did come up. Just one of them wanted to pop out there. 7 of Scrolls. Yeah, so there's 2 doors there. Not really sure which way to go about this. So that will be something that is a challenge coming forward. It's like you're going to maybe, I don't know, I'm really seeing that you're going to receive a lot of scrolls, messages from people. So this could become a career for you where you start doing this. Okay, with the Wheel of Fortune, it could be the thing that really makes you abundant. And the Wheel of Fortune with the World, I mean, you're a really strong psychic. Let's just put it that way. Okay, everybody is psychic, but the combination that you have here is really good. Okay, because it's all you really need is if you are a good clairaudient and you are able to connect with spirit and do mediumship, it's a really good combination as well. Okay, so yeah, just there's going to be a lot of learning curves with this. Like, do you want to be that kind of medium that's up on stage in the future? I don't know, like I think that's kind of a changing thing, I don't know, collectively. Or do you want to just do mediumship, you know, whenever it suits you? That's kind of how I do it. I don't really charge for mediumship. It depends on what you want to do, but whatever you choose to do, you've got the Wheel of Fortune, so it's going to be extremely abundant for you. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope that helped you. If it did, leave a comment down below, and yeah, I will see you all next time. Goodbye. Okay, hello group number 2, welcome to your reading. So let us take a look at the cards, the oracle cards that you have first. So the first one we have love. Okay, so definitely someone who works through the heart space, heart chakra. As I'm saying that, I'm burping. I felt like air bubbles. I'm seeing now like children in bubbles, and they're like so like mesmerized by like the little things in life, like a child just touching a bubble and it popping and the smile on their face. Little things like that make you very, very happy. So that is a gift in itself, because not everybody can see the little things in life like some people can. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to say. I did read for group number 1. I will just read a little bit from one of these. So the main thing that we want to look at here first is we have clairvoyant. Okay, so obviously you guys are the clairvoyants. Now what clairvoyant is, it's basically you're able to see through your third eye or your mind's eye. So it's not always, but in your case, it's for some of you it is and some of you it isn't. In your case, you do also see outside of yourself. So you might see, first of all, you might ask to see the, like a rabbit or something, and then all of it, because we have animal kingdom here as well. You might start seeing animals like on symbols and stuff, like on newspapers and things like this, or magazines, or on billboards or whatever. And then all of a sudden you start seeing actual rabbits, and it's like, this is one of the things that helps you understand your spiritual journey a little bit more as well, is this. Okay, so your connection to the animal kingdom. Also, the constellations. You might have a real wanting to know about the constellations and stuff like that there as well. So that is one thing that we have as well with the animal kingdom card. I'll just put that there. So we have love, animal kingdom. We have a horse here as well. I always think of horses as dinosaurs, as dragons. So that's very dragon energy as well. So you might have this feeling that you, with that child sort of spirit and visualization, you are someone who's very tapped into the creative, imaginative worlds, okay? Because imagination is just a higher level of like the astral or whatever, okay? So it's just like really floaty up there because it's imaginative world. You can pull it down and it comes, you know, more and more dense, because what a clairvoyant is someone that transcends through time and space and whatever, okay? Because it's just, it doesn't really exist. You're just pulling it from somewhere that not many people are able to do. Everyone is able in their own way, but not many people are open to it these days because of the dense world that we live in, this denser dimension, okay? So yeah, you also might find sometimes that you are, we have symbols, so that was the last thing, symbols. So you might be really interested in sigils as well, or using different archetypes to help yourself see things or explain things in an easier way. So for example, when I'm using my clairvoyance to see something, sometimes I'm seeing a whole scenario playing out and there's just so much going on, and it can be overwhelming because you don't know where to start. And you're like, does that even make sense? Does this make sense? But the things that make sense is when you focus and zoom in on the things that stand out. So again, you have the rainbow here in this block, and also in this card over here. So with the rainbow, you know, it might be the thing that stands out the most. You'd be like, I just see a lot of good things coming for you because there's a rainbow here. So it's like an abundance of colors, and there's animals everywhere, and there's a horse here. So this horse is sort of giving you, you know, the courage to just go full steam ahead and just be feeling free from now on. You could go on and on and on. See, you just need that one thing, and then you can just go. Because I feel like that's what clairvoyance, at the beginning, it's kind of difficult because you're just seeing, you're overwhelmed. So yeah, obviously getting more grounded, and again, you have the love card here. So when you're using your mind's eye, you always want to then pull yourself back into your heart. You don't have to pull yourself all the way down to ground yourself. As long as you're connecting yourself with the heart space, that's, for me, I'm hearing the most important thing, because when you connect into your heart after you're taking a breather, you're breathing in through your chest where your heart is, and then you're able to relax into it, and then, you know, with doing that in itself automatically grounds you anyway. Okay, so that pulls it down. So that's something I just wanted to mention because I'm hearing that for you guys as a little technique. Okay, but as you can see, like, this is connecting to higher energy chakra points, okay, that are way outside of us. Okay, so that is the first thing I want to say. Let me see. I'll just read this actually. A great way to train and sharpen your clairvoyant ability is to listen to guided meditations using visualization techniques that take you on a beautiful journey in your mind's eye. Something that I really like actually is shamanic journeying. I've actually done a soul retrieval spontaneously. I didn't know it was going to happen, but I did. I didn't know until someone actually told me that I did that, like an actual shaman. But yeah, spend time outside and notice everything around you, whether it's the deep blueness of the sky or the calming greenness of the grass and the trees. Try to notice all the diverse cultures of people. That's something I love to do as well. I think that's why I like traveling. And things you're exposed to every day. Many developing mediums want to see clairvoyantly into the spirit world. We believe it's important to start by looking and noticing your surroundings right here in the physical world. That's the most important thing with this. Coming from me, honestly. When you start trying to see stuff like that doesn't even have really much relevance to us as, you know, our daily routines in life and stuff, you know, trying to see aliens and stuff like that, that will come when it's supposed to come. Don't try and force yourself to see something that, you know, you're not really even supposed to be doing that. I don't think that's the purpose here. Sorry, there is a moth. And I really don't like them. So there's a moth. That's about transformation. So I think with this is, I'm getting here with the anchor here as well. And we have a butterfly. It's sort of time now to bring yourself back to looking at what's already available to you. That moth's coming back again. Yeah, so because you're going to have the same thing come back around, the moth returning. You're going to have the same moths, kind of is like transformation for me a little bit. Or fear, because I'm afraid of them a little bit. Not as bad anymore. But yeah, sort of having the same fears coming back. So you might, you know, because you're clairvoyant, you could have like sometimes difficult or fearful dreams and things like that. So, you know, making sure that you are using your clairvoyance in a grounded way at the beginning if you're only starting out. Okay, the spirit world can use everything your physical eye records as visual prompts in the future. If you allow this advice, you'll be training your eyes and your mind to notice and store more. This practice will greatly assist you in your development of your clairvoyant strength. Okay, so that is what we have to start off with. And yeah, what did that say? Because it was gonna, oh yeah, so that's something as well that you can do with symbols. So you might see a here's a perfect example. I always use this one. You might see a raven, and for me, ravens started showing up for me when it was trying to get me to get over a certain fear that I had about my own confidence and stuff. So you can then use that experience for yourself, for others. So when you see in your mind's eye a raven, you can then be like, I'm seeing that maybe you have some fear around pushing yourself to, you know, do things that you want to do. That's a kind of an example that I could give. Okay, so that's something. And then as you go, you're building your own. Like, don't Google things. Honestly. People who have degrees in like folklore and stuff like this, and I'm like, why would you just, I know that's relevant too, like both sides are relevant, but like you don't have to do that. You don't have to Google things to know the spiritual meaning of them. It helps sometimes if you feel called to do that, then that's okay. But most of the time, you know, you just know yourself through your own experiences. Okay, so how can you sort of pull this through into the physical more, like so that it's assisting you rather than disassociating you? Don't feel like you guys are super dissociated, but just with the animal kingdom and the constellations and stuff, you might just be like, oh yeah, I have the tarot card here. You might just be like,
I wonder how, like, what would happen if I just was not here.
I'm feeling that for some of you, like I don't feel like I'm home. And with the tarot card, it's sort of like, you know, all of these, I mentioned animals again, we have a little squirrel. Okay, so this tarot card is like, you know, this little squirrel built his little home and it's been destroyed. And unfortunately, there is a lot of things that are really hard in the world to, you know, put up with right now. But the most important thing for you is to not let the spiritual world overwhelm you, okay? because you're going to have a lot of these feelings of what is this all for anyway, or you know, those kind of emotions. You know, if it's not going like this, then I don't even care. I don't want to be here anymore if it's not going to go like this way. Unfortunately, the way the world is, you have to adapt to whatever is happening. Okay, because there are going to be more and more moments throughout our life all the time where these tower moments happen, and we just have to, you know, sort of go with it, okay? Because something that I notice with myself even is that I might see the future, and then an event will happen, and it'll trigger it for me to be a little confused for a while. I just have to ground in, move through it, move through the pain that we're going through collectively, and then see what's next, because the future is never set in stone. Okay, so the future that you see, it's always going to be a little bit distorted in certain ways, because you can't always predict what's coming. So you might be seeing something in the future, but you're only seeing that because you haven't experienced the tower moment yet. Does that make sense? So don't always try and focus on the future when you're being clairvoyant, because clairvoyance is being able to go retrocognitive. Okay, so you're able to see the past too. So like, you know, you can change the future as well. You can work with it quantumly. There's a lot of quantum healers on YouTube and stuff. You can learn from them, if I'm hearing for some of you. Okay, so what is going to be challenging with this gift? Four of Cups. Oh, some of you might be very interested in, I'm not actually seeing that this is a challenge. Some of you may be very interested in some kind of holistic therapy or psychology or something like that, because you might be very visual. You also might like hypnosis. This is kind of my hypnosis card. I'll just show it to you actually here. Four of Cups. So really what I'm getting with this is the challenging thing about, I don't know if it's going to focus. The challenging thing about this Four of Cups is it might not always be as exciting as you hoped for, okay? Because everyone wants to be psychic, but that comes with a price, okay? Because you start to see things that you don't want to see. You start to, you know, even come online even more, and you get brought these people that are going through difficult situations, and then you know, sometimes I don't want to use my clairvoyance to see into their life because I know it's going to be difficult for me, things like that. So yeah, or even I feel like having people who come to you going through difficult situations, it's not always going to be that you're seeing the good in things. You're going to have to go through seeing the difficult situations as well. Okay, and I think that this is where it's wanting you to go, is to really understand that everyone is unique, and that, you know, you aren't going to have all of the right kind of people coming to you supporting what you do. So this is why I feel like the challenge here is you need to sort of merge whatever work you're doing now with the clairvoyance and use it in a way for right now to help you develop, okay? And this is what I want to actually pull next, is like, how can you develop? The Hierophant. Guys, you're supposed to, you're really supposed to be doing this kind of work, okay? We have the Hierophant, and it's a lady in this card. Loving it. Okay. The Hierophant. Yeah, so in the future, you're going to be someone who is well known for the way that you work, okay? Because the Hierophant card is sort of, she's, in this card, she's like very much built. She has the two pillars on each side. So you're going to have this nice temple that you have built for yourself because of knowing your own body and things like that, and being very focused on. She's holding like a rod. I don't know what you call those things. A wand, let's just call it that. She's holding a wand there and she's protecting it. So she's protecting her fire, her spirit within here. Okay, so very much connecting to, you know, knowing as above, so below. That's what the Hierophant card is when he's doing this. As above, so below, knowing the balance in this kind of work, that, you know, you're not always going to see the good things, like I said. So sometimes you might be thinking that you're seeing a spirit that is good, and they're all charming and things like that, when really they're mischievous and blah, 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 blah. Because people in the future might be like, I don't know what this is. Like, I feel I'm connecting with my guides. And then it's a motherfucker who's trying to attach to them and steal their energy. So things like that, okay? But with the Hierophant card here, in the future aspect of this, it's really that there's going to be things that just happen to you so that you can develop and grow and structure your practice in the way that the universe wants you to do it. Because I feel like you can pull from things that you've learned from other tarot readers or other mediums and psychics and things like this, but it's really about now you developing your own, because that's what the universe wants. They don't want you to copy, okay? So last thing I just want to pull for what your higher self wants you to know right now. Ooh. Everyone's getting real hella magical cards. Oh, you have the High Priestess. It's Sorceress in this. Sorceress. Okay, you guys are... Wow. Wow. You guys are witches. You guys were all of the things. That's why I feel like there might be a little bit of, with this tarot card, there might be a little bit of confusion of like, what am I supposed to be cooking up here in this cauldron? Like, what do you want me to become? So yeah, it could be confusing because you've got the rainbow as well, which I talked about, which is all of it. You kind of have it all. So you guys could be, there is a term, what is it called? It's when you have sort of, I know what it is. It's like Claire embodiment, Claire essence, I think it's called. Claire essence is like you're just all of the Claires sorta, and you're you know, you don't really associate with one psychic ability because you're the High Priestess. You're sort of all of them, and you've sort of seen and learned through looking into the past and looking into the future, like how this is all developing. So you're getting hints of like what you need to do next, but you might not understand in those moments of like how it's developing properly for you. But yeah, with the Sorcerer's card here, it's like, you know, you're badass. You are badass, and that is the truth. So yeah, I hope that helped. And yeah, it's just the main thing that I'm getting here is that in the beginning and even in the past, it mightn't have been that exciting. Mightn't have been something that you feel like, this doesn't feel like it's for me. Like, I probably just want to do this. But you know, you are able to choose now which parts of what you already know you want to use, okay? So you could write a list of all of the Clairs and choose one that really sticks out with you and work with it for a month, and the next one for whatever. And then over time, you'll just, that's kind of what I did actually. I worked with one, and then slowly I didn't realize that they were all sort of merging into together, and now they just come all at once. Okay. Yeah, I'm smelling smoke too. Some of your smokers, being told to cut down on that a little bit. Okay. But yeah, that is all I have for you, group number 2. Thank you so much for watching and joining me again. And if you enjoyed this, leave a comment down below, and I will see you all in the future. Goodbye. Okay, hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. So we're going to go straight in and have a look at the oracle cards that you have. So the first one that you have is Destiny. Okay, so you have the Destiny card here. For the first one. Next, we have reaching out to spirit. Okay, love this card. Literally me. Reaching out to spirit. Okay. You have psychic journaling, which is something I'd love to do, but I don't know if I'd be good at that. Psychic journaling. Okay. Well, I kind of do that, but in a different form. I'm thinking for you guys, it's more so of you could just be automatic writers. Is that what it's called? There's like psychic mediums and stuff that, you know, scribble and stuff, and they can just connect that way. So that could be it, just scribbling. Or using just a pen and paper to help yourself tune in. But you could also be someone who likes to script to sort of see your future. This is a really good witchy thing to do, where you can, you know, visualize yourself in the version of yourself that you want to become. Okay. And through reaching out to spirit, you're reaching out to a future version of yourself, and you're writing down what's going on in that person's life, you in your life in the future. And that is a really good way to, you know, then look back at it and see what manifests. Sometimes I've done this before a lot of times in the past. I haven't done it as much anymore because I kind of just have things going on. But when you're starting off, it's really good to use this as a practice in the beginning. But I feel more so for you, group number 3, that this is something that is wanting to be developed more so than my path in particular. I think for you guys, it's more of a path that you could be doing this a lot more. You could also be writers who are destined to be like future authors or something along the lines of that, where you are able to see sort of parallel realities, and you're able to bring those energies in to help you write books that people will be able to resonate with. Okay. We have the wonder of colors. Okay, so you could just be the full thing, the full shebang, where you're also artists. But one thing I'm getting here from you, group number 3, is that you are 3. You've got the logical side and the creative side, and also the spiritual side. You have the Trinity, you know, the third eye. You've got the whole thing going there with helping you to create. So it is destined for you to create something with this, okay, this physical block, to bring it in and manifest a product or something that you can you know, give to others as a token of your gifts that you have. Okay, that's one thing that I want to start off with saying. I want to read actually. Oh, as well, I feel like you're good at reading auras. That's a gift that I'm picking up on. So you might, you know, you might look at someone. Again, you don't have to actually physically see them. People say that they can. I believe that they can, but I don't. I just see it in my mind's eye. And it changes. It doesn't stick like all the time. Like people aren't always one color. Okay, where I've heard things like that before, where people were like, "Oh, you're blue," and I'm like, "Well, actually,
I'm a rainbow."
fuck you." No, I'm joking. But like honestly, like yes, I think that you guys can see auras and things like that and know sort of what's going on. Also, you're able to tap in, okay, with the reaching out to spirit. You're able to tap in to your mind's eye to be able to sort of scan people's energy as well. So you could be interested in that. Okay. It says the wonder of colors. Colors can be a wonderful tool as you develop and evolve your psychic and mediumship abilities. The 7 primary colors are the same colors, those of the chakra system: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Colors are not only beautiful to look at, but they can help you with your clairvoyance, aura work, there we go, and symbolism, as well as feed your creativity and imagination. Furthermore, the colors of a spirit's aura can help you identify aspects of their personality, like I was talking about. I'll just skip on here. During the week, notice all the different hues that surround you, or focus on one new color each day. Be aware of how many times your choice of color appears throughout any one day. And once you understand and educate yourself about colors, you will never look at them the same way again. So, you know, I know in psychology they use colors, and I know like to, you know, like the color red in McDonald's and the M is to make people hungry, things like this. Understanding those, and I feel like this is also to help you understand colors because of wanting to develop something like a product, knowing the right colors to choose. So a lot of like tarot and oracle decks will use like very psychic and third eye related colors like blue and purple and indigo and things like this. That's kind of like educating yourself on that so that you know what your sort of brand could become. Okay, that is what I'm getting. So let's see how you can create, for you guys, I'm actually hearing how you can create a product or something that would help you financially. What would that be? What would that be? Let's get real specific here, Spirit Guides. Okay, we have the Four of Swords. I'm feeling that you want to work from home. You want to be able to create from your own nest. Okay? You want to be able to I feel like you guys are not asking for a lot with this Four of Swords. You're not asking for a lot. You're just asking for a peaceful and quiet life when it comes to your home space. And that is also what I would imagine someone that is very creative would want. You know, their own little studio. And I think that's what I'm hearing here is your own little studio where you can, you know, create and work on things in the peace and the quiet. And sometimes I feel like what would really work for you is to separate your own emotional impact on what you're creating as well. Like, I know that people will always say like it's really, really good to, you know, put your, you know, singers put they write their songs basically on their heartbreak and stuff like that. For you guys, I think it's actually more of taking inspiration of the spirit world, okay, with this reaching out to spirit. So instead of trying to, you know, do something and use something that has happened to you and creating something with that, you know, do half and half. Okay, reach out to your higher self and ask, okay, like I went through that, but like how can I like make it sound or be a little bit different? Like how can I, you know, adapt on it? Okay, because if you recreate a new story, you're starting to heal anyway. Okay, so I think that that's what it is. Not getting too caught up, because the Four of Swords is sort of like do do do. It's like keeping your mind in, you know, not sort of always letting yourself. It's a peaceful card, but most of the time it's just like lying there and being like, this is what I want. I just want peace. I just want motherfucking peace and quiet. Everyone else can just fuck off. That's sometimes how I feel about the Four Swords. But really, with this as well, you sort of have to let negative things come in, or negative thoughts come in. There's all of this like be positive all the time, and that's not actually how I feel about life at all. You don't have to be positive all the time. You can be like, you know what, I don't want this to happen. You can be okay with it happening. You can be okay with things not being good, but let yourself, you know, let yourself be in more uncomfortable situations, okay? Because I am sort of seeing that this is something that you have been doing in the past for quite a while, where you're like, no, I need to stay in, I need to do this, and just not bother about going outside at all. So it's sort of, through reading the cards, it's kind of like it's changed. It's like, let your mind sort of go in a new direction. Let your mind take on new ideas for yourself to grow, okay? Let me see. What is a challenge for you right now? The Devil. You got the Devil? Okay, this Devil card. It's like she's hidden behind a wall. Again, I'm thinking on the wall. Oh my god, that movie. I don't want to tell you the movie because it might scare you if you watch it. But it's like there's bodies in the wall. I'm picking up that you might even have a little bit of a darker side that wants to be explored, okay? With this, okay? Because the cube is very Saturn energy, and it might be that you want to sort of get a little bit more understanding of the other worlds. There's the last season of Stranger Things. I talk about it all the time because there's so much codes in it, but like I always see that place as like the underworld of it, the upside down, I think it's called, yeah. Is like Saturn energy. It's like there, even in the last season, there's a clock, and Saturn is based on time and karma and stuff like this and blah blah blah, and lessons to learn. So I think that this is what you're sort of being. Maybe there's a blockage here. It's like you want to just plaster up the wall, even though behind the wall there's moldy paper or moldy wallpaper. You're trying to cover up, your own shadow self. And I actually had a girl that I did a reading for, and I told her this, and she's actually recently been like, oh my god, you told me this, because someone actually put a quote up on Instagram, and I can't remember my exact words, but it was basically that we're actually afraid of the light. When we get comfortable with the dark, the light is easier to manage, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're not actually afraid of the darkness, we're comfortable with the darkness. That's why what we're here to learn about is like how to get comfortable with our own darkness, so that we can work with the light a little easier. Because if you're not comfortable, you're kind of left in limbo. Okay, so that's what I'm getting here, is to start to let yourself move away from all of the communicating only with angels or whatever it may be, and let yourself, and you don't even, to be honest, communicating with angels and things like this is not what I get for you guys. More of on the imaginative level. If you want to be someone who writes a book or something like that, that would work. But like for your own personal growth, I think that you need to just figure out, I'm hearing for right now, what your destiny is, and the things that you might feel uncomfortable with, that you think are addictions or things that are holding you back. Getting to know why you feel that way and why these are becoming challenges for you, because the more you then understand that, you'll have that peace of mind, and then you'll not be so like feeling, you won't feel so bad about stepping outside of the frame mind that you, or the mentality that you have had recently. And I do think that over time this is going to develop anyway, because with this card it's sort of like the color is going to come back into your life, because the way that I sort of see it is that you've been seeing the world in a little bit of a dimmed way, a little bit darker than before, and that is because the world is sort of wanting you to see it that way, so that you have no choice but to like work with it, so that you can then bring in the light a little bit easier. Okay, so that's what I'm getting with that. Now, how can you moving forward, let's just check that out. I'm hearing that song, it's Sia, I don't know. I'm so powerful. I can't sing. What is that song? Comment down below if you know what it is. I don't want to sing because I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. It's that song of Sia's where she's like,
I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to survive.
I don't know. Just listen to the song, something might be in there for you. We have the Queen of Swords. Girly girl. You have a side to you that is wanting to just come out. You have I love this Queen of Swords. I just love her. She is fire, literally, color red. There is something that is wanting you to explore the sexual, sensual side of yourself, and in a masculine world that is sometimes looked at in a very negative light. But that's developing in its own way as well. So I think that this is something as well that could be part of your gift, is that you are here to call bullshit on the things that are not devil energy, and they're just being twisted in that way so that we don't go towards it, if that makes sense. So you're sort of here to like speak up about things that you just don't sit right with you. You're like here to say, you know what, I've been connecting with, reaching out to my higher self, and that's what you can start doing, and you will start doing. I've been reaching out to my higher self, and actually they don't think I should believe in that anymore, or whatever. So really what I feel here is breaking outside of the box, seeing the world in a new light, and so that you can actually then start to get more clarity and be a little bit more discerning on what actually and what information you take in. Because I feel like what's been bothering you guys, group number 3, for a long time now, is that you're probably consuming a lot of content or books or things like this, and you just don't like the way that it's done. You don't like the books that you're reading because it's very like specific for a certain type of person and things like that, and you're coming up with all of these different ideas, and you're sort of, you know, you don't really know where you stand with the Four of Swords. You're just like, I don't know where I fit into this equation. That's what I'm getting from this. But in the future with the Queen of Swords, it's like, you will know what you're supposed to be doing, and the sooner that you know, the cat as well on top of her head. And for me, cats are multi-dimensional in the way that they are. They're just very strange beings in the most amazing way. But you have this, to be able to balance, you know, understanding the other dimensions of like the imagination, I feel like is strong with you. Imagination, but not only the imagination, the astral world and the dream space and things like that. Not only do you need to understand the light side of it, you need to understand the dark side of it as well, so that you can have a bird's eye view of like what it all is that you're here to do. And what is that? Guys, one more group, and every time I pulled this deck, I've just gotten like super powerful cards. The Empress, Gaia. Okay, so in the future, in like a year from now, or even just this year, in the next, I'm hearing for you guys, in the next like couple of months, we have the Empress. You're going to be a lot more connected to understanding where you fit in the world. Okay, the nest here, I'm just seeing that Gaia, and I'm seeing a big huge tree, and you know, you're connected to that tree, the nest in the tree, you're like connected to it, and nothing is really going to stop you. You're growing, the tree is growing, and it's reaching you up higher. You're just now having to, you know, climb down the tree and go for a little walk when you need to, things like that. So it's definitely, I see that in a year from now, you're going to be exploring more of nature and things like this to help you gain that creativity. Because I think that that's what's really been going on here for you, group number 3, is that you have sort of been wanting to learn how to be more spiritual, or how to let more light in, but you were doing it with the curtains closed, kind of like me today. Curtains closed, shut off from the world, and it's understandable what we've all been through. It's like we've kind of built a little bit of a habit of staying inside, if you know what I mean. So with Gaia here, it's like the world is wanting you to see the color again, okay? The wonder of colors. So I feel like in a year from now, you're going to notice that you're trying different foods, you're abundant in what you're experiencing as well, because this is connected to that abundant divine feminine energy. So you're going to be, you know, exploring the world in a year from now, and your inspiration for what you want to create next is going to come to you through these experiences. So yeah, really, really good, really abundant a year from now. Your world and your life is going to look completely different in a very nice way. It's funny too because this devil card is as a lady, and then we have Gaia. It's like that. I don't really know anything about that, but Lilith. Is it Lilith that is in astrology? That I don't follow that in the astrology that I'm learning, but there's mythology and stuff tied to that. But it's like, this is what it is. It's like the dark feminine coming into the more organic feminine energy that we're working towards becoming. But again, it's like a seesaw. Work with both so that you know who you are, and that's what you're doing. So love that for you, group number 3. But that is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this reading, please leave a comment down below. Let me know that you want more of this kind of content. And if you have any ideas as well for what you want to see next, let me know. But that's all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the future. Goodbye. Okay, hello group number 4. Welcome to your reading. So let's just get started. Excuse me. I'm burping a lot today. Let's get started by looking at the cards that you have. So, first thing you have is Courage, purple energy as well. Starting off, courage to let yourself, you know, explore now is what I'm hearing. I feel like you've been playing it safe. You're wanting to get to know and understand. Sorry, I just saw the next card. You're wanting to get to know and understand how and why these things work the way that they work, and why you're, you know, picking up on things and not understanding. Some of you could be a little bit I always forget that one. Clear knowing is, so you sometimes just know things without knowing where or how it's coming to you. Okay, so it's a little bit different because you have actually clairsentience here, which is a very different sort of thing to clairvoyant or clairaudient, because clairsentience is like you just feel it. So you might walk into a room and all of a sudden you just feel the pain that might have happened in that room, or you might feel other people's emotions. And one of the things that happens to me all the time is I will feel like pain or physical pain from, sometimes, most of the time it's coming from a loved one, and then I have to pass a message on. But sometimes, like, I will get a headache if I'm around someone who's also got a headache. But now I've been able to distinguish. Sometimes what I do is I just ask my higher self, is this my headache? And I'll just know, be like, well, my guides will usually like tell me like, okay, think a little bit. Why do you have a headache? Are you overworked? If I'm like, no, then I'll know. Most of the time now I've developed it in a way that I just trust. So I don't have to, I used to do that. I used to be like, okay, well, headache is coming from like, okay, using my mind too much, or using my third eye too much, or blah 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 blah, and now it's a little bit overworked. So I used to do that. I used to ask questions, but now I just kind of know, and I'm not afraid to ask either. So I just like will say to someone like, hey, do you have a sore head? And they'll be like, yeah, how do you know? And I'm like, I just thought you looked like it. You look like you have a sore head. Or I'd be like, I'm a psychic. No, I don't do that. Sorry. You also have energy scanning. Okay, so that goes hand in hand with what I've already have here. You are able to scan people's energy before they even come to you. So someone might be approaching you and you might just feel like you want to move away, or you might all of a sudden feel like you're like drawn to someone and you're like, I don't know what this is. But you could be picking up on that they actually are attracted to you. You might not actually be attracted to them, but you feel called to go towards them for some reason. There's so many ways that this can be. Okay, there's many different degrees of how, like, it ranges in so many different ways. Clairsentience is one of the more tricky ones. It's not empathy. Empath is a bit of a one that I just like. I don't use you're an empath as much as other people, because I feel like it stops us from developing and understanding that really you're just probably clairsentient. Okay, because being an empath is, it's kind of the love language stuff, and it's more of that aspect of how we use that term. But yeah, it is, you're, you know, empathetic. You're able to scan people's energy and stuff like that. But yeah, with clairsentience, it also might be that you're the type of person that feels like the world is constantly talking to you, or you feel like the world, like you're picking up messages from everything and everywhere, and you're just like, this is overwhelming. But once you start to just let go and understand that you are different and that you are very sensitive to everything outside of you, you're able to then understand yourself a lot more and how you can, you know, develop this and work with it rather than working against it. Okay. I'll read a little bit about this as well. Clairsentience is the most natural of all psychic senses. So is I would say, so is clear knowing, because a lot of people are psychic and they're like, I'm psychic, and then they don't really know how they are. They just, there's moments in their life where they'll say something and it will just be like, how did you know that? And they're like, I literally have no idea. Like, I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything. And sometimes those people don't even feel anything, but you have both. You have a little bit of both here, is what I'm getting. It's the ability to sense the emotions or feelings of other people and animals, okay? And everything, it's everything. You're able to sense everything. Okay. Don't underestimate the power of clairsentience. It can assist you in all areas of your life and enhance your connection with spirit. Okay. Clairsentience is felt through the solar plexus center. I don't know about that though. Maybe. You can strengthen this ability by practicing daily. Focus on your solar plexus center. Well, you can do that, but like, you don't have to limit yourself to that. That's just what I feel from that. Be sure to do this when meeting someone new or making an important decision. Well, that would make sense because you're, you know, actually it's your sacral. Your sacral is the emotional stuff and the relationship building. So that's why I say it's a bit limiting. Like, you know, if you want to open up to someone, you would focus on the heart chakra. So just heart space, again, chakras as well is another thing that people like to get all political about. Okay, so just work what works for you. That's how I do this. Be sure to do this when meeting someone new or making an important decision. When you start asking how you're feeling, tuning into your solar plexus and paying attention, this psychic ability will strengthen and grow. Yeah, because you're not seeing anything, maybe. To be honest, you've got creative expression here, so I don't know. All you guys that watch my YouTube are pretty psychic. That's like, you're switched on to, you know, that you have something going on there, you know, in the trunk. But you have creative expression as well, and this is I'll just read the start. Creativity is not only a way of expressing your personality and spirit to the outside world, it's also a great way of disconnecting your... Okay, I'm confused, so I'm not going to read the rest of that. I don't think we need to. Courage, okay, clairsentience, energy scanning, and this. Okay, let's just move along here and see what you need to know about this ability. What do you need to know? Eight of Wands. Okay. I'm hearing that now is the time for you to really let yourself just start. I feel like it's going to start happening fast, obviously with the Eight of Wands, but I just also feel that don't let yourself get too carried away, because you might go through periods of coming all at once and you're overwhelmed, and I'm just picking that up because I'm actually seeing, weirdly enough, some of you might have a fear of like being on a plane, because you might be picking up on other people's fear of being on a plane. So there's things like that. You might get like a little bit of those turbulence or the shakes, or be like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. You may have a little bit of social anxiety or things like that, because of this clairsentience. Okay, so with the Eight of Wands, it's like whenever this energy comes in, it comes in hard, but it's coming in, I'm hearing, for you to understand it, why it's there, question it. Like, is this yours? Why it blah 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 blah. Because clairsentient, you need to really always be asking yourself, is this mine or is it someone else's? And also, you need to be very careful with that as well, because you don't want to be blaming everything else on everyone else. Okay, this is the tricky bit about being psychic. There's like two sides to the sword. Okay, so just, it's all about questioning all the time. Always questioning, always understanding that, you know, some things are meant for you to learn and some things are just for you to understand. Don't always have to elaborate or go any deeper with it. Okay, but with the Eight of Wands, it feels like things are going to start picking up for you. And with this, I'm seeing this as like a paintbrushes or whatever, because of this creative expression card. Might be the time for you to find a new creative outlet, a new way to express yourself, so that you can sort of transmute this feeling and these emotions and the senses that you have and do something with them, so that, you know, they're not all bottled up inside your being. Okay, and courage as well. Courage, I'm hearing as well, weirdly enough, I'm hearing working with the energy of the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine. That's another thing that you might be wanting to do, is understanding that. Oh, well, as well, we have man and woman here. So understanding masculine and feminine energies, you might be wanting to dive a little bit deeper into those topics, like divine masculine, divine feminine.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Let's see, what is a challenge with this courage? Like, what is it? Why do you need to be more courageous about it? More bold? I think you need to be more bold in how you creatively express yourself. I'm seeing the butterfly here, but I'm like, you know, maybe you've been painting yourself. You've got 9 of Pentacles. Girl, boy, whatever you are. Alien. I don't know. Hi. You're an alien watching this. Hey. Oh, peace out. What's the thing they do? I can't do it. I'm not a fucking alien, that's why. Anyway, moving on. 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. So we have a boat in the background there, and I talked about, oh, okay, I'm being brought back to this plane. Now I'm seeing like I'm seeing, weirdly enough, I'm seeing her as a flight attendant. You know those really pretty, like, Abu Dhabi or Dubai air hostess? I'm seeing like them. I don't know if you have a connection with this or whatever, if you've traveled to Dubai and you've just felt like, but it could be that you're wanting to move to a more luxurious place, where the energy is a lot more, you know, is a little bit different. I feel like moving away from the separation, the feeling of people, or not, what's the word, scarcity mindset that people might be around you. Okay, that might be really making you feel like shit. Okay, so I think that with the 9 of Pentacles here, it's like you need to dress more abundantly, wear more abundant things like gold jewelry and things like this, because this is really going to amplify your energy, so that you're, you know, pushing away things that you don't want. So if you're powering and charging yourself up with abundant physical things, it's going to help you with your courage and being bolder and more fearless and stuff like this. But being brought to this again, sorry, my higher self is just like, don't wait, come back. So the flight attendant is handing me a book, and in the book there is feathers. She opens the book and it's just like, poof, and there's loads of feathers. So I think that this is saying as well that the content that you are consuming needs to change as well. You need to be reading or consuming a lot of lighter information. That's what I'm hearing, because I feel like at the minute you're maybe reading a lot about other people's lives, or you're taking a lot of people's information as your own because you're clairsentient. So you might be heavily affected by what you see on TV and things like this, and it might be messing with your mojo, you know. So you don't want that to happen. You want to start doing things a little bit differently. Maybe if you are afraid of traveling on a plane, get on that boat that she has there in the background. A different way of traveling through your journey now is what I'm hearing, okay? You don't need to go up in the plane. You can stay down here on land, travel by boat, okay? It's more of a different type of turbulence, but choosing what you want to be surrounded in, what environment you want to move with, okay? Because you have to move with the times. I'm hearing group number 4. You cannot escape it. None of us can. We can't. You can't just hide away. Wish that was easy. We can all just run off into the mountains. Are we ready? No. Some people are, but not all of us. Let's just be real here. So that's the kind of thing I'm getting with this. Is like you're sort of, you're here to learn still, okay? Because one day in the future we will have communities like that where we can all work together as one. But right now we're here for a reason, and the reason is for us to understand ourselves so that we don't need a community. We're just a part of it because we understand ourselves. Because if we're all moving into communities with all this toxic bullshit, I don't know why I'm bringing this up. If we all move into communities with all our toxic problems and blah 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 blah, it's just going to turn into a cult. And that didn't really work out for us in the past either, did it? So yeah, work with the times, be in the pain, be in the struggles, and also surround yourself with things that make you feel abundant, like this lovely Mediterranean, I don't know, I'm bad at geography. I don't know if she Mediterranean? No. Where's the Mediterranean? Don't judge me. Why is this? Mediterranean. Isn't that like... I'm not even going to go there. 6 of Swords. Yes! Confirming it. 6 of Swords is basically saying it's time to go. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but energy, the energy that I'm scanning through this is there are a few people that are just sort of messing with your antenna. There is, you're not getting in the right information. You're not, I said, like, you have travel cards here. You have 8 of Wands and 6 of Swords, both travel cards. And it seems like the 8 of Swords, it's like the opportunity is coming. And the more you push it off, the more it's going to come in harder next time. Does that make sense? So with the 6 of Swords here, it's like start to really pay attention to the signs that are being shown to you right now. Because I feel like you're going to see or even watch and start watching different content and things of people who are living this sort of a life, and you want that, okay? But remember, bring yourself to balance. Do you want it to escape, or do you actually think that that would be good for me? I'll be happy with that. That's what I'm getting from this, okay, with the 6 of Swords. But again, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be something that... It's not going to be easy at the start. Let's see when you get there. When you get there, a year from now, through working with your clairsentience, how do I finish the rest of this sentence? Let me see. Oh my god. Okay. We have the 5 of Scrolls. I think that this is all of the feelings and the thoughts that you thought about yourself, or that you were picking up that maybe other people have thought about you, because this is over the courage. Again, we have purple. Okay, so this is things that you were sort of manifesting, let's call it that. You were sort of manifesting a specific kind of a life for yourself that wasn't necessarily the right one, and it was all based on other people. I'm being told to pull another card for you. It's all being based on other people's opinions and the struggles that you've went through. You're needing to get away from all of that and that kind of a life now, so that you can gather yourself. Okay, honestly, the best thing I've ever done is when everything got too much for me, I took a trip away. Just been back from Lithuania, and now I'm back again, and I'm like, I feel fresh again. Anytime life gets a little overwhelming, I'm like, I have to go somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna go somewhere just to get my mind back. Okay, because again, I'm clairsentient like you guys, and my room starts to piss me off. Because it's the same sort of, what happens is, I'm not dealing with my issues, and then they just start to freaking circulate in the room, and no matter how much clearing I do, it doesn't work anymore, because it's like, well, you clear it for today, but by tonight, it's, you know, are you going to keep clearing the energy all every hour on the hour? So it's like, you know, you can only do so much. And I think I'm saying that to you guys because there is more to, you know, what you see on Instagram. People saying, you know, get some sage out. One of my favorites is actually mapacho. I have mapacho incense, and it's my favorite. But you know, different things like this are working for you when you're already clear. Does that make sense? You don't clear the energy when everything is shit. You can, but it's not going to really fix the problem. But you can clear the energy to keep yourself in that frequency of like everything just moving towards me, and this is great. So it's like, yeah, that's how I only really clear energy if I'm already clear myself. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. Anyway, pulling in one more card just to see. Okay, group number 4, last card for you. Okay, we have the 3 of Mirrors, which I'm pretty sure is, wow, new friends, new people that you can like. Courage as well. We have courage. Like,
sorry, something went wrong.
Motherfucker.
Try again in a few seconds.
I wasn't even talking to you, bitch. I hate when she does that. She scares the shit out of me. I'm telling you. Technology is conscious. It's fucking annoying. Oh, God. Sorry. I'm actually being brought to looking at this little guy in the background as well, because she's in the background. And I'm being told as well, there may be a thing that you think that when you start to live, right, this is something. When you start to live a different life, there's going to be this thing, because you're clairsentient and you still have energetic ties to certain people, there's going to be this feeling that you might get of guilt, or I'm having fun, but I feel bad about it. Why is that? Because you're going to have a lot of like people's projections pushed onto you through, you know, you choosing to live a different life. And that's just how it is with life anyway. People get jealous. So you might pick up on other people's jealousy, but keep doing you, boo. Keep doing you, okay? Because we ain't here to wait around for miserable people that don't want to change their life. You can just lead by example. And by leading by example, you're going to meet people that are just so caring, hearing, like, just like the little lamb there, people that aren't supposed to get along just magically get along, and it's weird and it doesn't make sense. You know, the lion laying with the lamb, it's like, it shouldn't be like that. They shouldn't be a couple, or they shouldn't, you know, be having this sort of a relationship, okay? And it's like, piss off. Piss off. So that is what I have for you. Group number 4, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I certainly loved doing it. And yeah, leave a comment down below in the description box, and I will see you all in the description box. Don't do that, because you can't, because it's done. Yeah, shut up. What am I talking about? Leave a comment down below in the place where the comments are. Okay, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the future. Goodbye.